What's up, Internet? Welcome. Today we're going to strip this 2011 YZ250 down to the frame so we can rebuild it from the frame up in Yamaha's retro classic yellow and black colors. Picture of what we're going for is what we want the end result to kind of look like. Sometimes these silencers can get stuck on there pretty good over a long period of time, and you don't need a lot of pressure, you just need constant pressure pulling while you're twisting at the same time. Sometimes you'll catch me staring at the motorcycle. That's because I really didn't have much of a plan. I'm just figuring out what I'm gonna do next. Apparently I'm gonna pull the radiator shrouds next, and let's drop it on the floor. Both your number plates and radiator shrouds, and I believe also the rear fender, have these little metal tabs that are really there to kind of guide the screws and prevent the screw heads from tearing up the plastic over time, taking it off, putting it back on, so on and so forth. So we're gonna save those because I'm not sure if the new bodywork is gonna come with those metal tabs and inserts. The rear wheel's preventing me from spinning the T-handle freely 360 degrees, so I'm gonna stop removing the fender and take the wheel off. I don't know how common this is for YZ250 owners, but this happened to me, I don't know, years ago. And this is just kind of like a shim or spacer that fits between the brake and the swing arm. Mine came off. It's got two little holes here, and I think there's screws with this one over here. It's still attached. It's too dirty to tell, but I think they're like just little screws. So I'm gonna have to get new screws, get this fixed finally. I've just been like, every time I take the wheel off and put the wheel back on, I just kind of hold it in place and torque it down, and then once it's torqued, it doesn't move, it's fine, but gotta get new screws for this guy. Finally get it fixed. It's been like 5 years. Something like that. If you look at the radiators, this one's quite a bit beefier. I mean, look at the wells, man, and it's kind of got a polished look. It's a pretty badass looking radiator. But I crashed and broke this, so I got a replacement, but I only replaced one side because I'm cheap. But now, since we're doing this build, we're gonna replace the stock one on the right side with one of these aftermarkets. I can't remember who made it. Oh, Myers. Myers radiators. When you're taking off your airbox and subframe, don't forget to disconnect the airbox from the carburetor. At this point, it was getting kind of difficult to balance the bike on the stand, so be prepared to have at least 2 stands and leave the forks on the bike. Save that for last. Peter decided he needed to get his hands dirty, so I threw him on the exhaust pipe. I mean, it's the dirtiest part of the motorcycle. You're going to need to remove the rear brake pedal to gain access to the swing arm pivot bolt. I prefer to leave the radiator cap on while I'm pulling the coolant plug so I can drain the coolant out of the engine, and it just makes it a little bit easier. Once the plug is out, I'll release the cap and then you'll see the rest of the coolant come flowing out. This is actually the first time I've pulled the engine out of the frame on this motorcycle, and I was kind of surprised. Once you get the cables and connectors free, it comes out pretty easy. Just tilt the engine to the right and it comes right out of the frame. So having two stands and leaving the forks for last, I think made it a little bit easier to keep the bike balanced while taking the rest of it apart. We're done. I mean, there's a few more little bits and pieces like the triple clamps, upper and lower. We're going to put new bearings and whatnot there, but for the most part, this is what I wanted to accomplish for the first video. Get the engine out, get the swing arm suspension, subframe, everything else off the bike. At this point, well, first of all, it took an hour and 49 minutes, plus 30 because I didn't start this timer until we were about 30 minutes into the video, or into the teardown, I should say. So what is that? We'll just say 150, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Here's all the tools that we use. We got our EPA approved drain bucket for the coolant. There's the engine. Oh wait, hang on. I got one more orifice to plug. Oh, yeah, let's plug that up right there. Suspension, radiators, wheels. This is kind of our keep pile over here. This is all shit we're gonna keep, clean up. We're gonna put new bearings in the suspension, the swing arm, the linkage. I'm gonna get new wheels, but I'm keeping these because it's always nice to have a set of wheels. I'm keeping this radiator only temporarily because I'm not sure if I need to get new grommets or if I can reuse these grommets. I think I'm gonna get new ones. Look at that shit. Yeah, we're getting new ones. Never mind. That's the junk pile over there. We're gonna get all new radiator hoses. Again, we're going for that retro Bob Hurricane Hannah back in the day when Yamaha was yellow and black. So we're gonna get yellow radiator hoses. My fork tubes recoated. I'm gonna get the inner tubes recoated, and then the outer tubes I want to get coated, painted, anodized, whatever the hell you call it, black with the black triple clamps, and then the yellow and black graphics and plastics. I think it'll be slick. This is how I like to catalog all the nuts and bolts. So front fender, front fork guards, rear fender, airbox, subframe bolts, tank and shroud bolts, exhaust stuff, seat and side plates. It's just how I like to keep track of everything. So this build series should not take as long as that did. And technically, that's still not even done. It's been like a year. I think that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching, and keep the rubber side down. We'll see you in the next one.